now. I do long plays. I've done quite a lot of long plays in a short period of time, but we have finished a couple of monster long plays, Railway Empire and Rune Factory 5, meaning it's time to start a new one, and you will be able to decide on which of these 5 contenders are going to be the next long play. It can only be one. It is the one that gets the most votes behind it, and you can use those well-earned vote swingers and channel points to decide which one goes through. I'm going to set it up, but I'm not going to run the poll until I've talked about each of these entries, because I feel it's a little unfair if I start it, then start talking about them. So first off, let's put up this new poll called Next Long Play. Let me be up front. This long play is not going to start for a couple of weeks, because I'm going on vacation. Well, it's just a staycation. I'll sadly still be within Sweden. But I'm taking a couple of weeks off just to go and enjoy the sunshine without the obligation of streaming. It's not to say there won't be any streams, but there won't be any scheduled streams. I won't be having any... won't have any little Brazilians coming up to me going, "Oh, woke up for this. Are you streaming or not?" Right, what do we have? Subnautica below 0. I wish I could have these pre-prepped ahead of time, but I haven't found a way to do it. They are brilliant. If somebody could put a shout out on the stream that this is the long play boat is happening now, I'd be... Oh, Marvin already did. What a champion he is. He really is. You know, Marvin's been around here a long time. And even though when I use Marvin in games it's not from him, it still feels good to have him around. Football Manager 2021. Now those are some words I never expected to type out in my keyboard in my life. Pokemon Blue Kaizo. Let's add Nuzlocke to that. Well, there's not enough space for Nuzlocke, but it almost gets in there. And Black and White 2. Boat swinger, duration 3 minutes. Okay, 3 minutes. So, before I start this, let me talk about it, and also let me get it on screen so that we can actually see how that's coming on through. There we go. In fact, let's make it bigger. There we go. Plenty of room to see it. And maybe kill the timer while we're at it. God, that was so close. If I just blown that asteroid out, I would have had a 5-second victory in a weekly one-shot. I haven't had a real close call for a long time. So, these games. I ran Subnautica as a long play before. Below 0 came out. I grabbed it. I'm not going to play it until it's done in a long play, I think. So, it's put up as a vote. Subnautica was brilliant. I didn't really play it very well, and a lot of people got angry about it. But I highly enjoyed it. So, surely the sequel will be at least partially as good as that. I've heard some negative things, but doesn't matter if unless I like it or don't like it. They Are Billions. Never expected this one to come up in the long play list, except I ran it as... why did I run it? I think it was a dictator game? Yes, that sounds about right. It was a dictator game. I thought the game was crap. Then I played the not campaign of it, and I thought, wow, this is actually really very brilliant. So I will still not play the campaign on the long play for it. I will go through the survival maps, working my way up in difficulty and hopefully taking on some brutal challenges within the game. This is all hypothetical. If these get rolled, only one will win today. Football Manager 2021. This is coming way out of left field, but I don't really care about football at all. I never really watch it, never have watched it, never followed it, never been into football in my life. Of football games, I've played Super Goal for the Super Nintendo, Goal for the NES, and for a weekly one-shot, it was at 2 Hours of Hell, I ran World Cup 98 or 96 or 97, the one that was in France, and took the World Cup as Scotland. Now, I've wanted to play a Football Manager game for quite some time, and I picked one up in my youth for PlayStation 1, and all I did was torture the players, just because I got some kind of sick joy out of that. And I saw it on sale, and I thought, why not? Let's give it a chance as a long play. I imagine I could take chatters, put them as footballers and torture them, or I could find the grimmest-looking northeastern Scottish football club and bring them from a pub-reared five-a-side to World Cup champions. Don't really know how it works, but I'd figure it out as we go along. Then there's Pokemon Blue Kaizo. Pokemon was on the channel once. I hated it, and I didn't think it would come back. But then I saw Pokemon Blue Kaizo, and I thought, well, you know, Pokemon Blue was the game I had in my childhood. The Kaizo seems to add some nice changes to it, and I could finally do a Nuzlocke run where, well, there's a bunch of Nuzlocke rules, but basically it makes it that death is permanent for your little pokey friends. So I figured I'd give that one a spin. And finally, Black and White 2. When I was a child in Asda, walking around looking at the PC game segment, there was Black and White. I wanted it, but I knew that my crappy Windows 95 with no sound card could never run it, so it's never been something I've played. But we could change that today by having it win the Longplay vote. I'm being told Black and White 1 was good fun. Never played that either, but I put Black and White 2 because I saw it on the Longplay submission list. That's me summarily describing them. The vote goes up right now. Back whichever one you prefer. Now, these Longplay votes have a habit of being that the first ones out the gate tend to end up being the two-horse race. There are 0 votes for Subnautica, so that's probably not going to be the one that comes out. A lot of people were saying that Pokemon was likely to be the winner here based on name recognition alone, but it's performing really bad. In fact, it's almost doing as bad as Subnautica there was. Let's not make this transparent so we can see it in all of its glory there. Okay, Football Manager has a massive lead ahead. I did not expect there to be viewers of this channel that would be so into football that they want that to take the lead, but Black and White 2 and They Are Billions, there's going to have to be a call made between them as to which one is the competitor to Football Manager, because spreading the vote between them is weakening them both. It's coming home, says John. Oh man, I don't know if it is coming home or coming Rome. Don't tend to follow these things, but it's a stereotype, right? Anyone but England. The BRs are sinking millions of points into Football Manager, says Pepper, probably trying to deflect his own investment into football. Black and White 2 and They Are Billions still remain the only feasible options against the encroaching Football Manager as we approach half-time of this Longplay vote, if you'll excuse the very well-made pun there. Black and White 2 proving to be superior to They Are Billions in this, so the support for They Are Billions dropping off, and Black and White somewhat surging up to try and level the playing field here, but Football Manager has a good lead, and it seems to be keeping it. Anything to get my spreadsheet fix, says Khan Wright. And Fan of Gaming says, save them for the end, Matty, just in case. I would hate for England to win the championship, says Forkez, but the alternative is Italy, so, well... you know, I really expected Pokemon to perform a lot better than it did here. But I think Football Manager is just such a strange pick for the Longplay vote that it's climbing ahead based on that. That, or I have a lot of skinheads who tune in for this stream. I want to show their support for the footy. TBW chiming in saying, Germans like spreadsheets and football, so it was a done deal vote. Really? Germans liking football? I wasn't actually aware. Can't wait to watch you bring Derby County to the top of the Premier League, Jake. I don't know what a Premier League is, True Leveler, but I'm assuming it's not that great. Okay, I'm noticing now the surge for Black and White 2. They're seeing that it's the end of the match and everybody is dumping their support to get rid of football now and forever, and they are taking it. Just as Rome's going to take the cup, Black and White 2 is surging up at the end to ensure that football is staying home. Right at the end there, football people got too cocky. Far too cocky. They lost it out to 3 votes there because the Black and White lobby knew that football had to stay home. That's what you get for being complacent, and that's why you will never, ever have the cup again. But I'm sure we're all quite curious, who is behind such a dastardly swing? They secured the golden ball at the end. Oh, it's penalties right now, isn't it? Yes, they scored the penalty kick out there, and Black and White 2 managed to nail it. So let's find out exactly how that went down. Actually, this is something I don't think I can get on stream, can I? Or can I? Come on, let's use modern technology. What do they talk about when they call those goal checking technologies? This is where my football terminology completely falls apart, so I can't make good enough jokes for this, but what can you do? Let's call this one poll results and get it on screen. What do you mean it's already in use? There we go. It seemed about right. Let's get rid of my many embarrassing bookmarks. and bring you over. Let's take some names here, shall we? Out of points is not the same as getting complacent, says Darth there, outing himself as a football hooligan. Okay, we got the details here, but I want the bigger details. Give me the vote breakdown. Righto, so nobody supporting Subnautica, just 11 poor little voters. I guess they didn't want anything more to do with it. I think that's going to slay Subnautica below zero as a long play option. I mean, maybe it'll come back like a zombie, but clearly no love for it. Who wanted Kaizo Pokemon? Nobody. That really surprises me, and I think it's going to surprise a lot of people that Pokemon didn't come out swinging here. They are billions. There's been some modest support on the channel points towards that, but in the end, not a whole lot of voters and not a whole lot of votes. Footy Manager, who was it? Help me slack, Darth there, Henrique, Euristo, Azura, Tivi, Battleship, Howie, Matty, Noxani, Can Write. Not an insignificant amount of channel points to throw down on it. And even Howie coming in with the bits, trying to save it at the last minute, but no. The black and white lobby, which I must point out has the popular vote as well. More voters and more votes. Dark Lord Bane and Winds and Tears. But most importantly, Bruce Wind. Who is this mysterious Bruce Wind? Backed by Jagger. Jagger was adamant that there must be no more football, no more spreadsheets. Ivan Loki and Meridian and Vokron all got... Wow, Vokron still had some points? Thought you would have lost them all. Stocknasty, Jorlum, Wellington. Well, I'll be. They didn't have to spend as many bits. They didn't have to spend as many channel points. So they knew they had the real support to kill football. Vokron saying, of course I've got more points. This was but one small pitfall for Vokron. Their pockets remain deep. Jagger seems ever grateful. Okay. It would have been even funnier if it was a draw. And it was close to a draw. In a draw, third place wins, and then we would have had They Are Billions. Which still has a reasonable amount of support, but those supporters didn't have the deep wallets of points that the others did. Okay, Black and White 2 is going to be the new long play. It's going to start in about 2 weeks, because as of right now, I am on vacation. The sun is out, it's very warm. I'm going to go out and sunbathe, and lift, and run, and cycle, and swim, and just do all the kinds of things that one should to enjoy a good summer. And then I will be back. I would say refreshed, but I'll probably be bloody knackered. And continue on with long plays and wild cards and all the usual things. Nothing's really changing in that regard. So until I'm back, probably with an impromptu stream, it's a cheers from me and a cheerio.